And welcome back. Oops, I'm still showing all the overlays. And I'm not showing the right one. There we go, welcome back to the Bacchus Offgamenet Starleague. This is the round of 8. We have seen the round of 16 before this. We started with 16 players. We're now down to 8. And these 4 sets are going to determine who is going to be your semi-finalists in the round of 4. And the third group of quarter-finalists here are going to be SK Telecom T1's GoRush, and once again, crossing ours with Perfectman. The three maps for the set are Gladiator, Neo-Aztec and Pathfinder, staying quite true to the map pool of the tournament, of course. And of course, this game is going to be a ZVP. GoRush, who I'll just explain that now. Just very quickly as well, I'm going to link in chat, or my stream chat, the thread for this, because Gillibird apparently hadn't seen the thread for it, so there we go. And let's move forward. If I can open the right page, there we go. Of course, the first player we have here is SK Telecom's T1 GoRush. Did win a ZVZ and a ZVP to get here. Of course, does now have 1 win against Protoss, and 2 wins overall in the OSL. GoRush has actually done quite well in SCPL as well, so GoRush showing to be quite a strong opponent here. 2-0 in his group, not bad in SCPL either. So it's going to be up to this man, Perfectman. You could say he's perfect. Wait, I missed a really big chance for a pun there. But of course, the Perfectman coming out of, sorry, my son really made me laugh. Coming out of his final match of his group. I wasn't very organised today, so I don't have the correct opponent, so I'm not going to try and guess who he played. But he did have 1 win versus Zerg. I do believe that was against Sulky. No, it can't have been. It definitely wasn't Sulky. Yeah, okay, so 1 win versus Zerg, showing he can play PvZ, has won a win against Zerg. GoRush has 1 against Protoss, so it's all going to come down to this game specifically, and it's going to be up to the players themselves to determine who exactly is going to move on to the round of 4 after this best of 3, and who today is going to go ahead in the best of 3, 1-0. Once again, we do have the 2 very static players. They are ready, and let's move into the game. Okay, so in the white we do have Perfectman, and in the blue we do have GoRush. Both players with their usernames not opting to use capital letters for some reason, but that's fine. We don't discriminate on capital letters here. In the top right position, in the 2 o'clock position, I should say, we do have Oz's Perfectman, the Protoss of today, or one of the Protoss of today. We do have a PvP coming up next, so there are 2 more. And of course, the non-Protoss, the Zerg, down here in the 7 o'clock position, is SK Telecom T1's GoRush. And there we go. GoRush actually opting to scout northbound with his overlord. This is a 4-player map, so the 4 corners of the map here, over here, and down here are going to be the bases. It looks like Perfectman opting to build he's going to build a wall here, which is quite a powerful choice. very standard in PvZ, not opting to go for any 2-gate, but pardon me, by the looks of it, and not opting to add on any weird super fast gas, so he will send out his probe now. His probe actually scouted the wrong place, so his probe's actually going to have a little bit of extra time going to scout here. So that's a bit of an unfortunate misclick there for Perfectman. The Forge is going up, which signifies either a Cannon Rush or a Forge Fast Expand, but due to the time this probe was sent out, I do believe it's more than likely going to be a Forge Fast Expand. Perfectman, until now in the 2 tournaments that I've run, hasn't really been over aggressive. The aggressive player has been GoRush, so it'll be interesting to see if GoRush can use his aggression again very well, or if he'll play much like his PvZ in his group, or his EVP in his group. He played against, it may have even been Perfectman to be honest, I'm not entirely sure, but this EVP played in his group on Pathfinder actually lasted quite a while, being able to kill the Protoss, who was doing his best to stay alive. So the drone will move in just before the cannon finishes, so he's going to get a nice scout here, opting to just run away, not going to stay in the Protoss base for some reason, probably not worrying about the extra information. He knows the Forge Fast Expand is coming, and now he can just add on his spawning pool. Depending on whether or not he chooses to expand again will determine if we see aggression, and due to the trajectory of this drone's movement, it looks like he's going to either take this base or this base. So he will go up to the standard 3 hatch against Forge Fast Expand, and there we go. There goes the 3rd base. Just as the pool finishes, the 3rd base goes up and the gas starts. The probe is in the base finally of GoRush's, so we will scout that there's nothing insane going on in the base here. And it's going to mean he can stay with 1 cannon for now and defend what he has. It looks like Perfectman has actually done a semi-decent job of learning the wall for this map. The wall for this map is kind of awkward for Protoss. It's different in every single location, of course, and there can be little link-proof gaps that you can miss sometimes. So it's very, very important that you study the maps that you're going to play and learn how to order them appropriately if you plan to. But yeah, there's not too much going on right now. Both players are just macroing up. The pylon being added here for Perfectman down here. Gonna want to add his cybernetics core before a 2nd gateway. So looks like Perfectman is being as standard as possible, and with no layer going up yet either. It looks like there goes the layer, sorry, my mistake. It looks like GoRush is playing semi-standard as well, but this early layer could signify that either he wants to go for very fast lurkers, or more likely, as we have seen his Mulus play before, it looks like he could go up to Spire. He's not actually opted to add on his Hydralisk M before his layer, so we could see some form of Mulus aggression here. The Mulus aggression, of course, is still powerful in PvZ. It's not as powerful as against Terran because Protoss will usually have cannons already anyway. Not so much in their main, but they do have Dragoons. And there goes the Spire. The probe has been chased away, and that was a very nice placement. It doesn't look like Perfectman could have seen that. He will see the layer, which is quite useful for him, but this probe won't see the Spire, and it does go down to the Zergling. Other Zerglings are outside the base of Perfectman, just putting on a little bit of pressure, making sure that no Zealots move across the map. And with these Lings moving across, and the Spy going up, it looks like we could see some form of Ling Mutalisk attack coming out from GoRush here, which could do quite a lot of damage if not defended against properly. An extra pylon does go down, of course. You don't want to have just 1 pylon to power any cannons and whatever your buildings by your gateway. So we're in a position here where GoRush looks like he's going to be moving up to do some form of attack, adding on 2 extra hatcheries, so he will go up to 5 hatcheries already. 5 hatcheries on 3 bases, semi-standard, but with this Spy going up so early, oh, of course, he could be going Spire to defend against Corsairs, which I completely forgot were a viable option for the Protoss, and we have seen them before in the STPL, so my disorganization is showing through once again, but that's fine, because we do have GoRush here moving his Zerglings across the map once more, just scouting around, making sure no probes get out. This Overlord will block the probe movement from the south half of the map, and more Lings are moving across. There's only there's 5 Zealots now out, so any form of Ling push-in is going to be quite dangerous. But it looks like GoRush isn't too scared. He's just going to jostle for position outside of the base. He's going to try and sneak a Ling in that does actually get blocked. Not opting to go for Corsairs as Perfectman, opting to go straight up to Templar Tech. Could opt to add on some DTs, which would be a very strong choice. It looks like GoRush is preparing for this with creep colonies, now adding on his evolution chamber, which will of course lead to spore colonies, which looks like he's planning to get soon with the addition of his creep colonies there. The Hydralisk Den is up, the Lurker upgrade is now upgrading of course, and using Scourge to sort of scout out what's going on. So cannons do go up in the mineral line of Perfectman's base. He doesn't really want to he doesn't want to deal with the possibility of Mulus because he can't actually see the Zerg base right now. He's going to move out with a rather sizable Zealot force now, and there's not too many Lings actually alive, so these Zealots are going to have a nice free easy ride across to the Zerg base, and then outside of these sunken colonies, which are behind a very nice SimCity, Perfectman could actually do some damage here. He could even, if he wanted to, try and snipe the Hydralisk Den, but it looks like he's going to try and run past all the Sunkens, which has meant, oh there we go, the Hydralisk Den is being targeted, and it looks like the left upgrade will be cancelled. That's a very nice pickoff, and he's going to run away with most of his Zealots, most of them only losing shields, so a very nice easy pickoff there for the Zealots. Opting to use the Hydralisk Den as part of the wall actually hurt GoRush there quite a lot. He's actually going to rebuild the Hydralisk Den in the same place, which is somewhat surprising. And it looks like this probe is going to try and either scout around or try and take a third base, but with this Zergling, it's going to make it impossible for him to do that. The Zealots move up and they are going to surround the Zergling, which is a really good move. But more Zerglings moving up from the south, and there's nothing actually defending his main right now. So with decent movement, it looks like GoRush could actually do a lot of damage here. He's going to move back. There's only one cannon, and there's nothing actually blocking the Lings from running past. For some reason, he's hesitating. He's going to take out the cannon, and the probes have been pulled to try and defend until the Zealots get back. But the Zealots are all the way up here. They've got a long way to run back, and probes do block, and the Dragoons will take out the Zerglings. But that's a lot of lost mining time, and a lot of probes have gone down. And the final Zerglings will be taken out by the Zealots. But the 4th base and 7th I believe hatchery is now up for GoRush. So the macro of the Zerg is going to be kicking in very shortly. Carapace almost finished, and it looks like the Lurker upgrade is once again halfway finished. Feeling a little bit of deja vu there, as that has happened before. The 3rd Nexus does go up in this top position. Once again, it's a very nice base. You can wall it off with cannons and pylons, so very strong option to take a 3rd base here. The other option is of course down here, which is the same situation, or the mineral only, but the mineral only is a little bit harder to hold, and of course not as beneficial because you do not get that gas. So strong choices here made by both players. Once again, Perfectman is now going to opt to add on some extra cannons to defend against any Ling run-bys, but that's a lot of Lings moving out of his base. The Zealots and the Dragoons are moving around the map. Very nice movement by Perfectman. Is actually going to block the Zerglings from one direction, but of course with so many Zerglings he can actually move up and try and take out this base and organize a short surround or even a run-by on this base, but with these 2 cannons it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. It looks like Lurkers have just finished. We do have Lurkers morphing in now, and he is now going to run on Hydralisk speed. The movement by the Protoss army up here is actually going to force back the Zerglings here, and he's actually going to be able to put some pressure on this base. And the Zerglings have been stopped by these Dragoons from doing any run-bys. They're actually going to draw the Zerglings in to a fight they cannot win. But this is a huge push, but there's so many Lurkers morphing, and when these Lurkers pop, there's no detection up here, there's no observers. I don't even know if he has his observatory yet. I have, it's just finished now. There's an observer in his base, but that's a lot of Lurkers moving across the map now. They're moving across from 2 directions now, and there's not really much to defend against these now, especially with only one observer. He's going to have a lot of trouble, and this map of course very good for Lurkers with these high ground pods. it's going to make it very difficult for Perfectman to actually defend against this. It looks like GoRush is actually just going to wait for a while, build up a larger army, and then move in to go for the kill. There are two observers here with his army, and a small contingent of probe. His probes are transferring up to the north, but I do believe. Oh, here we go. We do have an engagement here, which GoRush doesn't get the better end of. These two observers actually being in the right place at the right time there. No Rombi on this third base yet, but adding more and more lurkers on. Perfectman isn't going to actually be able to move across the map anytime soon, or at least do any damage to the Zerg. So with Ling scouring around everywhere, he has a Ling at pretty much every other base that isn't his. Will make it impossible for Perfectman to sneak any bases anymore, and it's now all going to come down to a somewhat of an army battle here, as GoRush adds more lurkers on, and the army of Perfectman is going to move across. It's going to come down to control here. GoRush actually opting to move back into his other lurkers, a very, very nice move. He doesn't have anything to take out the... Oh, a very nice storm goes down on the three lurkers, actually going to kill all three of them. And there's a lot of Protoss here and a lot of Zerg, so it could go either way, and the lurkers are still attacking down on the Dragoons. He does have Storm, a nice Storm goes off on the remaining lurker, but there's a lot of links here and they're going to surround... Oh, a lurker surround is going to happen here. He's actually going to borrow all his lurkers, only three of them will actually get to shoot. But with the observers cut off from the army, GoRush can now move his lurkers across the map and put on some pressure again. And maybe even take out the space, but of course these cannons are going to make it a little bit harder. So he's actually going to... Oh, here we go, he's going to move... Yeah, he is going to try and... He's going to consolidate his forces, then work out what he's going to do. Looks like he's bringing overlords. He's going to try and bust up this ramp. There's Lings and Hydralisk being thrown into the fray there to try and stop the Protoss from defending his base up here. And a very, very nice strategic move by GoRush. He could even opt to like wall that off with lurker eggs if he wanted to. He has the money. Perfectman actually having a lot of minerals here and not much gas. So Perfectman is actually in a lot of trouble. These lurkers, or these Lings are just going to move up. He's going to leave the lurkers. He's going to move them up now. But there's nothing to defend his third base. The Dragoons are surrounded by all sides by lurkers. And all the Dragoons are going to go down here. He has no observer up here. The observer has been sniped and he loses most of his army trying to protect his probes that have now transferred away. But most of them are dead, and so is most of Perfectman's army. So GoRush has got a considerable lead in this game at the moment. Of course, Protoss very tenacious at staying alive against Ling Lurker Hydra. But Perfectman definitely an inherent disadvantage here. He's going to find it hard to claw his way back into this game. With only 2 bases against 4, now 5 going up from GoRush. He's going to struggle to defend against the macro of GoRush now kicking in with so many hatcheries, so many units surrounding all of his army. Lings coming up from the top, Lurkers coming from the bottom. Storms go down on one contingent, but the other contingent just moves straight in. More Lurkers coming in from the north, and there's not much Perfectman can do other than just hope that he can defend against this. Storms go down again, killing a lot of Lings and Hydras, but there's too many lurkers, and GG is called. There's nothing left for Perfectman to defend, and there we have it. There is the end of that, or the start of that series. That does put GoRush 1-0 up in this set. Best of 3, of course. The other 2 maps I did say earlier, if you missed them. And that will lead us on to a short advert break and the final match, which will be between Nelra and Anytime.